We also have some late news this evening from the New York Times that President Obama will unilaterally revise and, quoting the Times, substantially narrow the conditions under which the United States would use nuclear weapons. The salient points of the president's new policy: the U.S. will renounce the development of any new nuclear weapons, a decision that overrules the initial position of the Defense Secretary Bob Gates. Also, the U.S. will, for the first time, commit not to use nuclear weapons against non-nuclear states if those states are in compliance with the Non-Proliferation Treaty, even if those states launch attacks against us, biological or chemical or cyber attacks against the U.S. White House officials tell the Times that the new strategy does leave open the option of reconsidering the possibility of nuclear retaliation against biological attacks, depending on the level of devastation, depending on what's made possible by the ongoing development of bioweapons. President Obama also telling the Times that he would carve out exceptions for, I'm quoting the president here, outliers like Iran and North Korea, countries that have violated or renounced non-proliferation agreements. Now, this strategy that's going to be announced is known as the Nuclear Posture Review. It's going to be formally announced tomorrow. That will begin an intensive 9-day effort that's focused on nukes around the world, and focused on reminding Americans that foreign policy and national security are about more than just wars. The president will travel to Prague to sign a new nuclear weapons treaty with Russia. That will happen on Thursday. And then on Monday of next week, he'll convene a summit in D.C. with representatives of 47 countries. That's almost unheard of to have that many countries convening at the request of the U.S. president. That meeting on Monday is about keeping nuclear materials out of the hands of terrorists. Cracking down on loose nukes was President Obama's pet issue as a senator, and it is among his first and boldest foreign policy initiatives that was not forced on him by the previous administration. I imagine that we will have much more to report on this tomorrow and for the next 9 days as President Obama attempts to implement his very personal vision of foreign policy. Very important, very exciting, and potentially very controversial news on this subject to come. Please stay with us.